Hey y'all, how are you doing tonight? I'm gonna do a video that focuses on me reminiscing about an exhaust fan that I saw back in either 1993 or 1994. I'm 45 years old, so that was like a whole lifetime ago. Anyway, back in either 1993 or 1994, my mom and dad, whenever they were still married, wanted to trade in their blue Caravan with wood grain siding, and they started at first with this one dealership in Knoxville, and they also, weren't satisfied with this first dealership, so they went to a second dealership in Knoxville, and to make a long story short, the second dealership involved a run-in with a salesperson, so my parents, when they were still married, weren't able to trade in their, a blue Caravan with the wood grain sidings at the time, because the salesman turned very ugly with them. I think they eventually found a new Caravan with Jim Curtis Auto Sales here in Athens, which is no longer in business. I think they ended up turning their blue Caravan with wood grain signs up with a gray Chrysler Caravan. But that was so very long ago. I think it was with Jim Curtis Auto Parts here in Athens, Tennessee. But even though my parents had no luck with the first dealership in Knoxville, let me explain to you a very vivid experience that I had at that first dealership in Knoxville. At the first dealership in Knoxville, my parents, when they were still married, were discussing options for a new vehicle at the time at that first dealership. And when my parents were discussing options for a new vehicle with that first dealership, I went on and walked around, and there were the cars to the side, all the new cars parked to the side of the dealership, and plus there was the body shop responsible for servicing cars that was right next to where I was standing. And that dealership contained at least 3 exhaust fans. And them exhaust fans were to keep ventilation of the workshop during the day. And there were like 3 exhaust fans. But I got mostly focused on this one exhaust fan. And it was like probably a little over 20 inches in diameter. And it was a belt-driven exhaust fan. And it blew lots of air. And I'm wondering to this day how many blades that exhaust fan had. I couldn't tell because that fan was spinning. It was one of them louver exhaust fans with a louver that opens when the fan comes on and a louver that shuts when the fan comes on. But there I was back in 1993 or 1994, staring at the exhaust fan while it was on. And I could tell by the hub, by the exhaust fan, that it was turning clockwise, but the fluorescent lights in the background gave the fan kind of a wagon wheel effect, that it was turning counterclockwise. Don't get me wrong, the fan was really turning, clockwise like this. I could tell by the hub of the fan that it was turning clockwise, but I could tell from seeing the fluorescent lights in the background that the fan was actually looked like that it was turning counterclockwise during a wagon wheel effect. And I wonder to this day how many blades that fan had. I'm going to say, from the judging by the sounds of it, that fan had at least 4 blades. But I really enjoyed staring at that exhaust fan there in the parking lot. I was standing at least 30 feet from it, and I could even feel the air from it because it was so damn powerful. But it really intrigues me that the fan appeared to be turning clockwise by the hub of it, but the fluorescent lights in the background gave the fan an appearance of actually spinning counterclockwise, actually spinning backwards. That was the whole highlight of my night back in 93 and 94. It being that the first dealership that we were at had like 3 exhaust fans, and the number 1 exhaust fan that I saw, you could tell by the hub that it was turning clockwise, but the fluorescent lights in the background made it appear like it was spinning counterclockwise. And I thought that was very unique. I thought that was so very unique. And I think by the sounds of it, it was a four-bladed fan. Four-bladed fans were my favorite. And think it's very unique that a four-bladed fan appeared like it was turning counterclockwise by the fluorescent lights in the background. It being that I've always thought that a four-bladed fan turning clockwise is very unique to me. And I think about all this, and I think about that, about that exhaust fan that I witnessed that night back in 93 and 94. And it's so very discouraging that fans are not designed to last like that exhaust fan that I was talking about. Again, fans are not, nowadays, are not designed to last as, long as that exhaust fan that I witnessed back in at least 1993 and 1994. I mean, modern fans are junk. And, that exhaust fan that I was standing in front upon appeared to be at least 10 years old. And I'm sure that it lasted more than 10 years. Maybe even 20 years. Hell, I'm not sure, because the last few times that I've been in Knoxville going to Twin Peaks, I can't even identify if that dealership is still there, but that exhaust fan that I saw that night that appeared to be spinning backwards by the fluorescent lights in the background is like, probably no longer in existence. And that dealership is no longer there. And it basically what it all boils down to is no fans or anything else of today are manufactured of the quality grade of that exhaust fan that I stood in front upon back in 1993 and 1994. And I thought that, I could tell the fan was spinning clockwise by the hub, but the fluorescent lights gave the fan, an appearance like it was spinning counterclockwise, like it was spinning backwards. And that fan was powerful. Hell, I was standing like 30 feet from it, and I could still feel the air. That fan was powerful. And it's discouraging because no fans of today are manufactured with that grade of quality. And let me digress here. The second dealership led me into obsessing about carrier round ones. Them old, carrier round ones. Central units that are considered carrier round ones that I elaborate on in a different video of this channel. And scroll down my channel and you may find that video, which is titled something like, Carry Around One, Central AC Reminiscing. I don't remember exactly because it's been several years since I made that video, but that's what that video may be titled. But just scroll down to my channel and you may find it. But anyway, I just thought I would reminisce about that magnificent exhaust fan that I saw back in, like, at least 1993 or 1994, and it still plays a role in my memory. I hope you enjoy this video.